What's going on, people? It's your man the YB, back once again. Big shout out to my doggy. Steve paid me old chits for coming through and boosting up the coins. So, oh man, listen, Chris Eubank Senior, he bugging again. That's the truth. I don't even want to talk about this guy no more. But listen, here we are. Now, over the last few weeks, we've done some videos. My conclusion's been that Chris Eubank Senior is low-key / sly hating on Junior. There's some evidence for that, which we'll get into after playing this video. This video here is another update. He comes out saying, well, the 116-112 card, that was wrong. It was actually a lot closer. It could have been probably should have been a draw. Who does that? Oh, IB, no. Senior was always going to be there. And yeah, Senior really riding with his son. The fuck? Where they find these new age guys at, man? Where they find these new age old heads at? Who here thinks if Conor Benn had won, Nigel would have been on here saying, nah, probably was a draw. And the worst thing is here, fair enough, yeah, I might come on here and suck Chris Eubank Senior off for being based if it actually was a draw. I'm all for people not shilling for their tribe if it's the right situation there. Let's say Conor Benn actually did win the fight. I'd be saying fair play to Chris Eubank Senior. He actually lost though. 116-112 is a proper fair card. I wouldn't have argued with 115-113, but seriously, not just because I was backing Chris. When you look at it, when you watch that fight, Chris won the fight. It wouldn't have been right to be a draw. Bottom line. And I had money on the draw as well. I think at one point I put some coin on, so it probably would have benefited me more as much as to get a draw. That's not what happened though. So why this guy? Anyway, let's get to the bars. Why is this guy doing that for, man? If he's not sly hating, yeah, why are you doing all this, man? Anyway, here's the bars. Bosh.
And the response will be parliamentary.
I watched the fight last night. Do you think that the 116-112 scoring would have been closer, or would it have stayed as it was?
It was closer, in my view. But here's the thing. Now, you actually caught me, young man, because you sound like you're very young. Because I always go with the judges. You don't complain. You just go with it like a gentleman. So you caught me on this one. It looks so much more closer than the scores that the judges gave. If that would have been a draw, I have nothing to complain about. That's how close it was, in my view. You know, I've seen clips, but I haven't watched the fight from start to finish. I'm going to leave that for maybe 2, 3, 4 years. Yeah, years. I don't want to really watch it. It's fights like that.
Okay, so there's the clip here. How do we go at this? I'm trying to be as least biased as possible here. He starts off by saying, oh, you know, I stick to what the judges say. Now, do that then, right? I go, the rules. If you're sucking the rules off, just say that. Hey man, I stick with the rules. It's 116-112. Fine with that. But for a man who goes by the rules in respect to judges, to then come on, how much hating have you got to be doing? Yeah? To admit you go by the rules. And even then, I go by the rules, but by the way, the rules are wrong. It was closer. That's crazy. And that's against the position. He should have said the rules was wrong. The judges were wrong. It was 1-8. I'd have preferred to hear this cat. Bear in mind the circumstance as well. Eubank Senior at this point, he don't need to be showing no more kind of negative treatment towards his son, right, given the circumstances. Yeah? Now, if they'd been getting on fine, and it was all gravy, and he wants to be a bit like Mahatma Gandhi and be like, oh yeah, I'm going to level it out, yeah, Conor did really well, that's one thing, but at this point in time, this is hating, man. Yeah, the judges had it that, but if it was me, I'd have had it a lot closer, man. I probably could have edged it. He didn't say he could have had Ben winning it, but he said a draw. The draw is like the least obviously hating thing he could have said, right? He probably wouldn't come out and say, yeah, I think Ben won, but he was one step away from that. Eubank had 2 points on the cards. What is? Explain this in a not low-key hating way, people. Where's the demand for this coming from? We've heard you say, the crazy thing is, yeah, I've heard enough, man. The industry have already covered all these corny bars. We've heard Usyk say, oh, Conor Benn won the first 8 rounds. Conor Benn won the first 8 out. Conor Benn won the first 8 out of the first 6 rounds. Yeah, he won 8 of his first 6 rounds. That's what Usyk said. There's been other dudes coming out. All the industry have been hating, even after the fact, on Eubank. Why has his daddy got to be doing that too? Conor Benn's been saying, oh, I had it a draw. I had myself up by a point. Them man are doing that. Yeah? That's not your... Why? Why is he doing that? I believe... never mind what I believe, you heard it. He's trying to take away... Oh, well, yeah, the judges had that. I respect the judges. They had it as that, but I was much closer, man. My son didn't do that well. Do you know what I'm saying? Why are you... For all the Eubank senior homosexuals out there, you explain it another way. Why has he got to do this for? In a fight, like I said, Eubank legitimately won that fight. It's not even like it actually was a draw. We'd all get that. For example, Johnny Fisher versus Dave Allen. Johnny Fisher's daddy should have come out and said it was a draw at best. That would have been on point, because it actually was a draw. But when someone wins a fight, why is daddy doing the most to try and reduce it somehow? Eubank senior homosexuals, explain that one for me. What's he... Oh, but YB, you know, he's religious and he wants to make sure everyone's treated as equal and he doesn't want to put... No, he ain't got a problem putting his son down. Oops. Yeah? He weren't worried about holding everyone up and singing Kumbaya when he's saying you're a disgrace, I'll never be in your corner. Oops. Yeah? He happy to be game then. Now all of a sudden he want to be super based and super hippie and shit, holding a tree with Conor Benn and his son, and oh, we all got on and it was close and it could have gone even... Nah, let's hate him, man. This is confirmed. The other day we did a video, Conor Benn comes out and says, I was there in the hospital with Chris Senior and he was telling me I'm the superior fighter. So there's a trend here. Yeah? At that, with them quotes, people said, oh, YB, Conor Benn's lying. Oh, YB, no. Eubank Senior said he was a superior fighter, not that he was superior to Eubank. Listen, man, we wasn't there. I don't know what happened, but there's a trend here. Yeah? Forget all that. We just heard it out of his own mouth. Sorry, son, you didn't do as well as you think. You didn't do as well as the judges might have told you did. I had it. Essentially, he's saying, if I was judging my son versus Eubank Jr., he wouldn't have won. Really? Really? That's what he said. The judges, even though I respect them, got it wrong. If it was me, I had a draw. Oh, and by the way, I haven't watched it. Wow, imagine being someone's dad, yeah? You ain't even watched a fight like that on TV, which is where you need to watch it. Live, and you're emotional and whatnot, okay. But just say nothing. Just say, listen, I respect the judges, I go with the judges' scorecard and leave it as that. Why have you got... I haven't watched it, but I know my son didn't win. It was a draw. That's hating. Don't care what no one says. All you Eubank senior homosexuals are going to say what you want. That's hating, man. Who's going to do that to their long-lost son? Who does that? Your ego's got to be so... You've got to prioritise. He's prioritising bashing his son to a small extent over anything else. They've just allegedly reunited. Imagine that. Reuniting and you still can't give the man his props. That's the bottom line here, people. You ain't even got to do a whole bunch to give him his props. All you've got to do is sit there and say, yeah, I agree with the judges. Which actually is the fair thing to say. We're not asking you to lie about it. Loads. Conor Benn came out, yeah, I won by a round, but I haven't watched it. You say, oh, I haven't watched it, but Conor Benn won. So Eubank Senior here, I hate to say it, well, I don't hate to say it, it's the facts. There was an industry narrative after the fight, I covered this. A whole bag of man, no, I haven't watched it, but I had Conor Benn winning. How can you have a man win and you ain't watched the fight? Eubank Senior, almost script for script. I haven't watched it, but the scorecards were wrong. Against your own son. Why wouldn't you reserve comment? You'd say, listen, I respect the judges, I respect their scorecards, and I haven't watched it, so I can't comment. But to be honest, if it's my son, and it's this kind of heated rivalry, and Conor Benn tried to get in there off the gear and punch my son up, I'll say, man, it was 120, 108, man. He got his head boxed off. Yeah? It was 120, 108, adjusted for dehydration and Eubank's legs falling off. That's the truth. It was close to 120, 108. You weren't getting looking edgeways until Eubank's legs started slowing down. He didn't get looking edgeways, man. That's what I'd do if I was daddy. Never mind trying to... Why would you want to do it? That make sense, people. Yeah? Shoot, I'm wrong. Oh, YB. No, Eubank Senior, he really loved his son. Why? Where's that coming from? Explain it to. I need someone to explain to me where that comes from. And don't tell me, oh, he's Mahatma Gandhi and he wants to spread love and boost up Conor Benn. Conor Benn right now don't need boosting up. He got a daddy. The guy you've been hating on, your own son, he probably need a bit of a boost. Yeah, well, at least just tell people what we already know. He won. I bet it's a draw. Listen, man. Corny, new age, old head, man. That's what that was. Let me replay time. I've missed some key elements here.
You just go with it like a gentleman. So you caught me on this one.
It have stayed as it was.
It was closer, in my view. But here's the thing. Now, you actually caught me, young man, because you sound like you're very young. Because I always go with the judges. You don't complain. You just go with it like a gentleman. So you...
So what are you running your mouth for now, then? Yeah? Why are you running your mouth, in a way, to take away from your son? You just... man. Gentleman. Take the result. We'll do that then. Or I'll do the other way. So listen, man, I'm a gentleman. I go with the judges' scorecards, but it was 118, 112, or 110. Oops. Yeah? I had my son whooping that little dude ass. We was on his ass, man. That's what we was on. Do you know what I mean? That's how I'd do it. If I was going to change it anyhow, it's got to be preferential to your son that you've been beefing with and hating on, surely. Unless the hate, the jealousy, or whatever it is clearly overriding anything else in Chris Eubank Sr. That's what this shows. No one else does this, man. If Conor Benn had won 116, 112, there's no way Nigel Benn's coming out and saying, yeah, my son didn't win that fight. No way. Especially if it's close, which it would have been. Yeah? There's no way. And it wasn't close. He won. I've not... Listen, OYB, you bet on Eubank. No one serious thinks that Conor Benn won that fight. Sorry. No one serious thinks he won that fight. And I've been honest. I thought... what was it? Well, Bivol won the second fight, but people were saying Beterbiev got robbed. Even though I had money on Beterbiev, I conceded. No, I can see how Bivol won that fight. I'm not going to argue about it. So it's not about that. He didn't win. Yeah? Yay ha, he didn't win, I'm afraid to say. So what's this old head doing, man? What's he doing? This is crazy levels of public hate. Sly digs as well. I've been told, Chris Jr., cut this old head off, man. You're just doing... I just don't like it. It's snidey. It's things you don't have to do, even if you thought that way, which would be bad enough. Yeah? Well, it's like he's getting something from it. He's getting something from it from publicly, like he did before the fight. Oh, you'll never be near, you're a disgrace. He's getting something from it, reducing, in his mind, reducing Eubank Jr.'s current level of, would you call it, greatness or whatever? I'm not saying he's become undisputed, but you get the point. Relatively, for Chris Eubank Jr.'s career, this is his high point of greatness. And Senior's trying to take away, well, you know, the judges had it this way, but if I had to score it, I wouldn't have given him the win. To make sure he's still the number one Eubank. And he still is. End of the day, Eubank Jr. hasn't been a world champion, but that's not the point. As your dad, you should be proud that your son isn't just another bum. Better bum in the shower. He's done well. And he won the fight with about 50-60% tops. Why not bring them bars in? Hey man, the judges' scorecards are 116, 112. I agree with them. And by the way, we did that at 60, 50, 40%. You saw his legs falling off. It should have been 118, 110 with full gas tank. Say that. Nah, actually, no, the judges, man. Ooh. Oh, yeah. It was well closer than judges. My son didn't do that good. You know, man. I can't wait for the Eubank Senior homosexuals to work this one out for me. Please do it in the comments. No, he'd never do that. He'd never do that. No, you're not reading it right. You read it to me then. You tell me what he's really saying. Hating.
Caught me on this one. It looks so much more closer than the scores that the judges gave. If that would have been a draw, I have nothing to complain about. That's how close it was, in my view. You know, I've seen clips, but I haven't watched the fight from start to finish. I'm going to leave that for maybe 2, 3, 4 years. Yeah, years. I don't want to really watch it. It's fights like that.
Alright, so I've covered it all anyway now. I just hope... I don't really... Listen. If Eubank Jr. posted a picture the other day and he's kind of happy with his dad, I'm happy. He can do this. But honestly, man, look. Let's see, look. Legendary behaviour. And I'm happy for Chris to some extent, but honestly, I don't know their relationship. Maybe it's a high chance I'm missing something. But I can't see, most times, good dad, not even necessarily good dads. I'm not saying you need to be a liar to be a good dad, but again, what's his name? Johnny Fisher's dad. That tends to be the default setting. You back your own, right or wrong. Never mind, you actually won the fight. You know what I mean? Imagine Johnny Fisher actually won it. Who here thinks Johnny Fisher's dad? Let's say Johnny Fisher didn't get knocked down and he was pretty comfortable through that fight. Who thinks Johnny Fisher's dad's coming out and saying, well, and I had it a draw? No. And I'm not asking for a lack of integrity. If Eubank really did lose that, / it was actually a draw, fair enough, I'd probably salute him for it. But the circumstance is this. I'm sorry, man, I don't rate this guy here. I don't rate this guy. Bottom line, he was good in the ring in his time, but this is not it, man. They're supposed to be repatriating as well. They're supposed to be getting back together, but his ego is just too much. Just ego, and I'm the number one, and you could never be even a bit close to me, so I'm gonna knock down your accomplishments. That's what this was, in my opinion. Yeah. And he also says somewhere, where is it? Here's another one.
That raises. Oh, you again.
With your son. So was that real, or was that like?
With me.
One more question.
Oh, you again.
With your son. So was that real, or was that like made up?
Who is this guy?
So the kid said, with your son, was it real or was it made up Hollywood cinema? That's what Scene is about to reply to.
I hear. Okay, so here's the truth. I genuinely only knew I was going to the fight the night before the fight. I would have bet everything that I have that the fight wasn't going to happen. Thank you, young man, for the question, because it gave me the opportunity to actually say to you that my son nearly died in the back of that ambulance. He was touch and go. Was it made up? No.
Okay. Let's stop it there for a second. Again. Oh, my son didn't win, he got a draw. Oh, my son was about to keel over dead. I haven't heard Nigel, but even though Conor Benn went to hospital, yeah. And he got they airlifted him into hospital. He was touch and go, man. He was touch and go. He had his wife there, he had his children there, they was praying over him and shit. The pastor was there, all sorts. Trust me, I saw that one there. I leaked a picture of it. Conor Benn's there with his eyes closed and they're all doing this over the bed. Swear down, right now. Right now. That's what happened. You don't hear Nigel coming out, oh yeah, my son, man. You want to be, this is a Warriors game. What? Oh, my son, he didn't win and he was almost died. Conor's too ferocious and superior. Right? That's what, I want my dad, like, even if I was on my death's bed, yeah, that's not no one else's business. Now, to be fair, I think, did Eubank Jr. say that himself? I can't imagine him saying that himself. Maybe he might have done in this Diary of a CEO interview. And maybe you can argue that it's kind of like a vitriolic. We went to hell and back and still were triumphant. Possibly, but listen, I'm not in Chris Senior's head. That draw thing is definitely hating. It's fair to say you can take either of the two ways. It was touch and go, but I don't know, man. If I had a fight here and I won it, and I'm in hospital, I don't need my daddy sitting there saying I nearly died. Especially if there's a rematch. Yeah. That's what I don't need. I don't need my daddy saying, oh man, he didn't win and he almost died. He almost died and lost. That's what Chris Senior says here. He almost died and he probably lost. Yeah? That doesn't need to be said, man. At all. At no level. About his touch and go. Yeah? I want my daddy saying, listen man, that little punk didn't do nothing. He wanted some more rounds. That's what he wanted. He was hoping 15. That's what I was doing. Junior was in the taxi home saying, "Can we do some more rounds?" That's what 100%. Don't need this old head on here. I call it hate. Now again, the homosexuals. You can cook up your own little. A lot of people like fantasy Hollywood Disney stories. Oh, the dad comes back and it's all great and he's a savior. No, this guy's a hater, man. It's the bottom line here. Seriously, what I see is sly hating. Oh, my son had a good fight. Yeah, but he almost died though. Yeah, but he did all that. Don't forget he almost died. You know what I mean? You don't need to be doing that. Anyway, let me know your thoughts. Smash the like button, subscribe, like off the bell, 100%. There's no doubt about this. Some people will stop it. Hup.